A strong personal brand is the shortcut people use to understand who you are, what you stand for, and why your work is valuable. It shapes first impressions before you enter a room. It travels with your name in email threads and search results, and it guides the opportunities others choose to send your way. In a market where credentials and job titles often look similar, your personal brand is the differentiator that signals credibility, focus, and trust. When you invest in it, you turn your career into an asset that compounds over time. What a personal brand really is. Your personal brand is not a logo or a tagline. It is the consistent pattern of value others experience when they interact with your ideas, your work, and your character. It blends three parts. First is positioning, the clear promise you make to a specific audience, such as helping manufacturing leaders reduce defects through Lean Six Sigma. Second is proof, real artifacts that show you deliver results, like case studies, talks, publications, and testimonials. Third is presence, the visible and regular way you show up where your audience pays attention, from industry forums to conferences to professional societies. The return on investment. A deliberate brand reduces friction in your career. Recruiters find you because your expertise is easy to recognize. Clients say yes faster because the evidence of your results is already public. Colleagues introduce you to partners because your focus is memorable. Over time, the compounding effect looks like better project choices, stronger negotiation leverage, and a network that actively brings you the right problems to solve. Building blocks that work. Effective brands start with clarity. Define the exact problem you solve and for whom. If your expertise spans several areas, choose a primary lane and a secondary perspective that makes your approach distinctive. Next, turn experience into proof. Publish short case snapshots, create one-page frameworks, and summarize results with context, method, and impact. Then build a simple visibility system. Select a primary platform and commit to a consistent rhythm of sharing practical insights. Finally, maintain reputation hygiene. Keep profiles accurate, links unbroken, and headshots current. Small signs of care signal reliability. Examples in practice. Consider a project manager in healthcare operations who wants to move into leadership. She chooses a clear promise, translating clinical goals into measurable process improvements. She publishes monthly reflections on patient flow projects, each one a short before and after story. She joins a healthcare quality society and volunteers to review member articles. Within a year, her network features directors who already trust her thinking, and she is invited to co-lead a cross-department initiative. Think about an engineer seeking more client-facing work. He documents a recurring method for root cause analysis and turns it into a 2-page guide that he shares on LinkedIn. He records a 5-minute walkthrough that explains when the method fails and how to adapt. A consulting firm finds the guide while researching solutions and invites him to run a workshop because his expertise is both credible and practical. Picture an early career analyst who worries she has little to share. She curates a weekly digest of 3 insights from the supply chain space and adds a short interpretation about what each one means for mid-sized companies. The consistency builds recognition. After several months, her summaries appear in team emails, and she is asked to brief leadership before their quarterly planning meeting. The power of professional societies. Professional societies accelerate brand growth because they concentrate peers, mentors, and decision-makers who care about the same problems. They create platforms for publishing, speaking, peer review, and recognition that an individual rarely builds alone. Joining and participating meaningfully turns your private expertise into public credibility. There are many strong options. The MSI Business Leadership Council is a focused home for professionals who want to grow influence in process improvement and leadership. Members can become an MSI Fellow, publish thought leadership articles, and receive professional reviews from colleagues. This structure helps you refine ideas, get feedback from experienced peers, and build a visible record of contribution that employers and clients take seriously. Depending on your field and goals, you might also consider the Project Management Institute for project leadership, communities, and credentials, the American Society for Quality and Process Improvement practice groups, the Society for Human Resource Management for people leadership in operations, the American Marketing Association for brand and growth strategy conversations, and technical affiliations such as IEEE for engineering and AICPA for accounting. The point is not to gather memberships, but to select one or two where you will publish, volunteer, and show up regularly. Depth beats breadth. How to craft a clear brand story. Your story should be simple and repeatable. Start with the audience you help. State the problem in their words. Name the approach you use and why it works. End with the result you aim to create. For example, I help service organizations reduce cycle time by translating customer voice into measurable process standards. I blend Lean Six Sigma with change management so improvements stick. My goal is faster delivery with fewer handoffs and higher satisfaction. Rehearse this in writing and in conversation until it feels natural. Turning experience into proof. Proof convinces people who do not know you yet. Short case write-ups are a good start. Describe the situation, the constraint you faced, the steps you took, and the measurable outcome. Add one lesson you would apply differently next time to signal maturity. A compact portfolio can also include slide snapshots, a 1-minute video explainer per project, and links to any media mentions or society publications. If confidentiality limits details, share de-identified metrics or emphasize the method in learning. A practical content rhythm. You do not need to post every day to build a brand. You need a dependable rhythm and a focus on usefulness. One helpful cadence is weekly insight, monthly artifact, quarterly talk. Weekly insight means a short note on a specific technique, data observation, or leadership challenge you handled. Monthly artifact means something durable, like a checklist or mini framework. Quarterly talk means a webinar, a society presentation, or a guest appearance on a panel. Over time, this creates a library of value that others can reference. Community as a force multiplier. Brand building is not a solo project. Thoughtful engagement with other professionals multiplies your reach. Comment on peer articles with specifics about what worked and why. Offer to review a colleague's draft before publication. Volunteer as a session host at a society event. When you make other people's work better, they remember and reciprocate. The MSI Business Leadership Council and similar groups make this easy by organizing review processes and publishing pipelines that depend on active members. Speaking and teaching. Public speaking and teaching compress trust building. Start small with internal lunch and learn sessions, then propose talks at society chapters. Teach frameworks, not only stories. Give people a way to act the same day, such as a simple measurement template or facilitation agenda. Record your sessions when allowed, and excerpt the strongest 2 minutes for your profile. A few durable talks will serve your brand for years. Measuring progress. You can track brand momentum without turning it into a full analytics project. Watch whether your inbound opportunities become more aligned with your niche. Note if your average response time from decision makers drops. Track the number of peer references to your frameworks or articles. Pay attention to invitations to collaborate or speak. These signals show whether your message is landing and where to refine. Common pitfalls. 2 traps slow people down. The first is vagueness. If your promise tries to cover every audience and every need, no one will remember it. The second is perfectionism. Waiting for a flawless article or a perfect case study delays learning. Publish something useful, invite feedback, and improve the next piece. A brand grows through cycles of contribution and refinement. A simple 30-day plan. Week 1 is for clarity. Write your positioning statement and gather proof from past work. Week 2 is for presence. Refresh profiles and draft your first 2 short insights. Week 3 is for community. Join one society, introduce yourself with your focus, and volunteer for a small task. Week 4 is for proof. Publish a compact case snapshot and ask 2 colleagues for review. At the end of the month, you will have a clearer message, public artifacts, and a community touchpoint, where professional societies fit long-term. Societies offer structure that keeps the brand flywheel turning. As a member of the MSI Business Leadership Council, you can become an MSI Fellow, contribute articles to a recognized platform, and receive professional reviews that sharpen your thinking. In groups like PMI, ASQ, SHRM, AMA, IEEE, and AICPA, you can access chapters, journals, and speaking circuits that match your niche. Over time, these channels become the places where your name is associated with ideas that matter to your audience. Final thought. A personal brand is the promise of value you keep in public. You build it by choosing a clear lane, proving results with real artifacts, showing up where your audience gathers, and contributing to the communities that shape your field. Professional societies accelerate every step by giving you platforms, peers, and standards that convert private expertise into public trust. Start small, be consistent, and let the quality of your work earn the reputation you want.